Spartan Locke. I have spent enough years with Oni to know the truth. Once this is over, after all I have done, they'll order you to kill us both.
Today we're going to be talking about Halo 5 Guardians, available exclusively on the Xbox One. Can you believe that it's already been almost 3 years since Halo 4 hit the Xbox 360? Yeah, I know, it's pretty wild. And, well, 343 Industries, the new developer of Halo, has already proven themselves with Halo 4. Although, the Master Chief Collection sure had a few hiccups upon release. So, how is Halo 5? Does it make up for that shortcoming? Or is this just another disappointing title? Well, I'm going to tell you the good news right away. This is a really fun game. The multiplayer is absolutely awesome. There's a fantastic 24-player Warzone mode, which has a whole bunch of different customization options and is just an absolute blast. It features the largest maps ever seen in a Halo game. I found that the matches that I played at least lasted upwards of 25 to 30 minutes, and you score points not only from attacking the other team, but also from capturing key locations, taking down difficult NPCs, and much more. As you play, you earn rec points, which can be used to purchase weapons and items and things like that. But what's cool is that you have to strategize, because do you save up your points for, say, like a Scorpion? Or do you use them right away in order to have more powerful weapons right at first? And so far there hasn't really proven to be a dominant strategy, but I'm sure there will be in a few weeks from now. Customization options are all intense. They allow you to select from 15 multiplayer maps, 8 gameplay modes including Slayer, Capture the Flag, Stronghold, Breakout, SWAT, Free-for-all Slayer, Shoddy Snipers, and Neutral Flag. Then there are all the different options for loadouts, etc. Now, if multiplayer is not your thing, you'll be happy to know that the campaign is made up of 15 quite fun missions. The overall storyline is quite interesting, and the new villain is far deeper than pretty much any of the previous villains in the Halo universe. I found the story wasn't so much black and white. There were a lot of subtle layers of gray. And at the end of the game, I was pretty much siding with the protagonist because their motives are quite sound. Now, you might be surprised to hear that you don't actually play as Master Chief in this game. What? Yep, that's true. Only about 2 or 3 missions are made up of Master Chief, and the rest you play as Spartan Locke. Now, I really enjoyed the banter with Locke and his teammates, even though his own personal character is nothing that impressive. I much preferred Master Chief and Cortana's banter because you sort of got context to what they were doing. With Locke, it just wasn't that impressive, but his team, the squad mates, I enjoyed the background talk between his different teammates. With Master Chief, you are playing in the blue team, and it's just not as interesting. It's not as fleshed out, their storyline. And that's because it's part of the expanded universe. But if you don't pay any attention to that, you might sort of feel that Master Chief's overall storyline this time around is kind of weak. Something else I really enjoyed outside of the core gameplay, which now features, your typical missions, go to this location, go to that location, kill everything in sight. But the cool thing this time around is the amount of weapons, of which there are tons, and also just the way you can approach your different objectives. Like I said, it's almost always kill everything that moves, but now the maps are, they just feel much larger, and the game supports 4-player co-op and was built from the ground up for 4-player co-op. So you want to sort of tackle these missions from multiple angles. You might have 1 or 2 players go off on their own and piggyback off each other, and then you have another 2 players that might take vehicles or something else, or sniping positions, what have you. And it's really a blast. Playing this with 3 other people is absolutely amazing. Now, if you don't play with other players, you'll be happy to hear that you can sort of control your squad mates. So you can tell them where to go, which enemies to attack, things like that. Very rudimentary stuff, but hey, it works, and it works rather well. I think it goes without saying that the game looks and sounds absolutely phenomenal. This is hands down the nicest looking Halo game ever released, and well, that should come as no surprise because it's the first one that was built from the ground up for the Xbox One, and boy does it show. Now, I did have a couple of problems with a few things. I already mentioned the fact that Master Chief's overall storyline isn't that deep, but one of the big things that wasn't great is the artificial intelligence of your squad mates. It works really well when you tell them, okay, attack that target. I found that really worked really well. But if you happen to play foolishly, like I do, and get yourself killed, and then, request aid, they're not so bright. They'll basically walk directly in front of an enemy to get killed to save you. And also, don't ask them to drive. It's the typical Halo situation where they'll drive into walls and all kinds of weird stuff like that. There's also 3 of the 15 missions can be completed in 45 seconds. They're nothing more than basically interactive cinematics. And I don't know, I didn't really enjoy them too much. I think it would have been better if they would have just put a minute cinematic and that would have been it. I guess it was more to sort of flesh out the storyline, but yeah, you can finish them literally, I'm not kidding, in like a minute. It's kind of weird. Now, this is something that I mention with Halo 4, and I'm going to mention it here too. The overall storyline is enjoyable, but you really do need to know your Halo lore to get the most out of the game. This isn't the type of game you can just start right now. Even though you don't play as Master Chief, it's still, you really need to know what is happening. And yes, there's a lot of means of getting that information through the expanded universe, but I still think it would have been cool to just have like a little recap really quickly at the beginning of the game that you could skip if you wanted. Now, the bad. Dun dun dun. Well, 2 things I want to mention here. One is that there's one boss fight, or rather one boss in the entire game, and you fight this dude over and over and over and over again. And it sort of reiterates the fact that the game really was created for 4-player co-op. It really was. Because the boss can only be hurt if you attack him in the back. And with the AI-controlled squad mates, it's not bad. I mean, it does work, but it's just clear that this was designed to have, multiple players tackle, say, one of the variations of the boss, and then another one to tackle the next guy. But I just found that it got a little bit repetitive after, say, like the 4th encounter. But by far, the biggest disappointment, and the one that's going to cause the most controversy, is, well, the fact that this is the first Halo game that does not support local multiplayer whatsoever. You will not be having LAN matches. You will not be able to do split screen. None of that. And that really hurts the overall package, in my opinion. And the reason why is because Halo was established because of its wicked campaign and the great use of multiplayer. And the reason why the game doesn't support local multiplayer is because the developer wanted to keep it locked at 60 frames per second. But that should have been a choice for us, the gamers. Because really, having someone come over to your house and not being able to do split screen or have them join you in any way, it really hurts. It truly does. Now, Halo 5 does a lot of things right. Like I said in this review, the campaign is enjoyable, the multiplayer is outstanding, and the storyline can actually be thought-provoking. It's, however, what the game does wrong that ultimately brings down the package. It's not a bad game, not by a long shot, but I wouldn't say it's a great game either. The lack of local multiplayer truly hurts. And yes, it's 2015 and everything is online. However, LAN matches are still a very big part of what makes Halo so special, and not being able to have those, or even have a friend come over to your house and play through the campaign, is truly disappointing. Halo fans will most likely love the game, no question about it. However, the most die-hard fans will likely walk away wanting just a little bit more. For the full written review that goes into a lot more detail, be sure to hit up ProjectCoe.com.
Babe!
I'm on it.